Senate and agree with our Budget and Appropriations Committee, Honorable Speaker. One, as has been very well articulated by the Vice Chair of the Budget and Appropriations Committee and also Honorable Makali Mulu, who has been a very diligent member of this committee. The shortfall that was occasioned by the rejection of the Finance Bill 2024-2025, Honorable Speaker, you remember we said it will have consequences. And the consequences that were to emanate from the fall of the division of the Finance Bill of 2024-2025 were not to be borne by the national government alone. And it is on that basis that we passed amendments to the Division of Revenue Act of 2024-2025 to reflect that particular shortfall in the projected revenues. And it must not be lost to our brothers and sisters in the Senate that the national government has no resources of its own. The national government raises resources that are shared horizontally and also vertically between the national and the county governments, and also between the counties, money that is usually raised from the public through taxation. And therefore, if we lost the entire bill, Finance Bill of 2024-2025, the projected revenues that were to come from that bill, which accumulated to about a total of 346 billion, are not available today, Honorable Speaker. And you know that also had an implication also on the performance of our economy. And it also means then, besides losing the 346 billion, the economy is also bound to lose much more than that, because part of the revenues we were raising were going into productive sectors of the economy that would have generated more money. And therefore, it's foolhardy for those in Senate to argue then that what was projected at the time we did the Division of Revenue Bill earlier this year would suffice, and the national government now must be able to bear the entire burden of the loss of the Finance Bill alone. Honorable Speaker, if you look at the figures, as has been articulated by the Vice Chair of the committee, the entire shortfall of 346, the national government was going to bear 325.88. That's almost 326 billion. And we're only asking the county government to bear only 20 billion shillings. If you divide 20 billion shillings among the 47 counties, it's an average of maybe about 380 million per county. It is money they can survive without. And Honorable Speaker, should we be able to recover some of the tax measures that we had in the course of the year, and we're able to generate more revenue, nothing stops us from reappropriating and dividing monies again more to the counties, Honorable Speaker. And it must not be lost to our senators and also our governors that besides the shareable revenue that they get here, there are also conditional allocations that have not been touched. And I think the chair of the Budget Committee, the Vice Chair, should have been able to remind the senators that, and our governors, that the equitable share is the only share of 20 billion we're asking them to sacrifice because of the problems that we ran into. This, Honorable Speaker, if you even look at the percentages, the county governments, as I said, the 20 billion is only 5.81%, whereas the national government was going to lose 12.83, almost 13% of what was projected as the revenues that to go to each level of government. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, I would beg that we reject these amendments from the Senate so that we go into mediation, mediate soberly. And I want to ask our good senators, I know it behoves on them as senators to be seen to be protecting the counties, but you are not seen to be protecting the counties by just shouting in town. Protect counties by holding governors to account. A lot of resources are being wasted in the counties, Honorable Speaker. And we do not see any accountability in the Senate. The Public Accounts Committee in the Senate, Honorable Speaker, I don't want to disparage them, but they know, and all Kenyans know what happens in that Public Accounts Committee in the Senate. No governor is ever held to account, Honorable Speaker, and we must make sure they're held to account. To our governors, Honorable Speaker, they should. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your indulgence. I was saying, Honorable Speaker, our governors must also tread carefully. We have shared resources to them through this division of revenue, Honorable Speaker. But they are still going after money that is going to constituencies under Kera. Honorable Speaker, you cannot have resources being devolved to you directly to do roads, then the money that is left at the center again to maintain national government roads, you still go after it, apparently because it's members of parliament who are managing this money. Members of parliament don't manage Kera. It is managed by regional engineers at the regional headquarters of Kera, not members of parliament. Honorable Speaker, let us not even pretend that it is those people you see in court going to court. It is the Council of Governors that sponsors all these cases in court. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to tell them here today, remember in 2020, 2021, 2022, in one financial year, Honorable Speaker, we increased the shareable revenue by close to 50 billion shillings on the promise and on the understanding that they would have adequate resources to maintain county government managed and classified roads at the county level. It's foolhardy that 2 years later, now governors have retreated and taken us back. They are now telling us even the share of national government resources under Kera, we now want a piece of the pie. It will not happen, Honorable Speaker. And we must never allow it to happen because it is Kera, it is Kura, it is Kenha that are making Kenyans be able to connect from one area to another. The money going to our counties for maintenance of roads, Honorable Speaker, is ending up in private pockets of governors and their sidekicks in the counties, Honorable Speaker. And it is not in one county. Across the country, Honorable Speaker. I know my county, Kiambu, is the worst in terms of theft. But across all the counties, Honorable Speaker, the theft that is going on, especially in the road sector, you will never find anywhere that governors are properly utilizing money the way we see Kura or Kera on Kenha utilizing these monies. And therefore, I want to beg that we reject this amendment, send it back to the Senate, and then we will be able to mediate and be able to reason together soberly so that we agree. If there's a shortfall in revenue, we all bear that shortfall because we all contributed to that shortfall, Honorable Speaker, whether you're the county or the national government, and therefore oppose all the amendments from the Senate and support the committee that we reject this. And therefore, we shall all be voting no, I believe.
The Honorable Benaisa.